All right, this is the instructions for slides 10 and 11 for your portfolio. This will finalize your portfolio so that you're able to turn it in this week. Start by moving the yellow boxes into the middle column, matching the number of charges to the pictures on the left. Type in the right column whether the net charge is positive, negative, or neutral. So what you're going to do now, what can make it a little bit easier to see is to zoom it in a bit. So let me get it zoomed a little bit here. Okay, so here I can see the picture a little bit better. It has 2 protons, 2 neutrons, and 4 electrons. The next picture has 2 protons, 2 neutrons, and 0 electrons. And the last picture has 3 protons, 4 neutrons, and 3 electrons. So I'm going to match to the picture. Okay, so here, this one is 2 pluses and no negatives. So which one had 2 protons but no electrons? That would be this one. So I'm going to, undo that. Okay, here we go. Okay, so now that I've selected the image, I'm going to drag it to the matching objects. And here we have a matching. Then this top one has 2 protons and 4 electrons. So looking at the images, it's hidden here a little bit by the camera, but it's this bottom picture here has 2 pluses and 4 minuses. So I'm going to select that and drag it up here. Okay, and then the last one here, making sure it matches 3 protons, 3 electrons. And then in the last column, I'm supposed to put whether it is negative, positive, or neutral. So I'm just going to select the box and type the word positive, neutral, or negative here. So whichever one is which. For slide 11, you're given an image of carbon with 6 protons and 8 electrons. And this is the charge, the net charge. It has 6 protons and 8 electrons, showing the first 6 are being canceled out by the positive charges. So then this part would be neutral. The extra is electrons, and there are 2, which means that this would have a -2 charge. Now, for number 1, it says this image shows an atom or ion with 6 protons and 8 electrons. Explain why the charge of this ion would be -2. So just go ahead and type your answer here. And if you rewind the video, I did just explain why it has 2 negative. Number 2, explain which electrons would be removed due to static charging and why it would be those. So think back to when we were talking about charging static electricity. And if you rub your feet on the carpet, you scrape off the electrons. And so by looking at this picture of an atom, can you explain why it's those specific electrons that get removed? Remember the analogy of your arm. The bone inside your arm is like the center part. It's like the nucleus where the protons are. And the outside part of your arm is the electrons and all of the layers of electrons that there are. Okay, so using that information, please give me a thorough answer, at least 1 complete sentence, if not 2, to completely answer this. Once you're done answering these 2 slides, you're going to turn it in on here. So even though these 2 slides go in your big portfolio, you are all right, so nice thorough answer, 2 sentences at least. Now, these 2 slides do go at the end of your portfolio, your big portfolio that you're going to turn in. But for today's assignment, you need to submit this through the current Wednesday asynchronous assignment. So you need to catch up on the previous 3 slides if you did them incorrectly or didn't do them, and then these 2 additional slides for today's work to be complete.